Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the SmackDown Ring Report. We got a lot to get to with recaps, highlights, and reviews. As you see right here, who's going to get a shot at the next at the Intercontinental Championship between these four superstars? Will it be Rey Mysterio? Will it be Karrion Kross? Will it be Santos Escobar? Or will it be Madcap Moss? Which one of these four stars will get a shot at the Intercontinental Championship? We'll talk about that. There's also as two tag team action. The tag team championships are online as SmackDown winners, tag team cup winners, Ricochet and Braun Strowman get a shot at the undisputed tag team championships. Will Jay Uso show up? We just have to wait and see. A lot going on. We'll get started when the SmackDown Ring Report starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of SmackDown Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on SmackDown Ring Report. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe if you can. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right. SmackDown was deep packing and stuff. Well, we're gonna kick things off on SmackDown with none other than Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman had a lot to say after he got confronted by Cody Rhodes this past Monday on Raw. Paul Heyman has a lot to say about Sami Zayn not becoming WWE Undisputed Champion. And out of nowhere, Sami popped out of nowhere, and Paul Heyman was shaking in his boots when he followed that Sami Zayn was clutching. As Paul Heyman clutched those ties that Sami Zayn so richly won't. Sami Zayn had to let Paul Heyman know where he stands and that he's going to take down Roman and take down the whole Roman, the bloodline. I'm thinking myself, Sami Zayn has to be trying to infiltrate the bloodline. I kind of knew, Roman kind of knew what it was going to lead to. I think Roman Reigns played his part, but he wasn't on tonight's show. But he made his presence and his name was a huge mention all out the show. So we know next week, Sami Zayn next Saturday gets his shot at the Undisputed Championship against Roman, and Roman wants to do to him what he did to Roman, embarrassing his family. But we got to only wait and see. Speaking of that, I hate saying it. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, I call them the Banger Bros. Since WWE don't want to go there, the Banger Bros was in action. The Banger Bros was in action against Hit Row, and Drew and Sheamus won their match. Collective tag team. I guess they're trying to pull them over and stuff. But they got after the match, they got called out by none other than the Viking Raiders, who sent a message. The Viking Raiders wants to know that they're coming for Drew and Sheamus some way somehow. So the Banger Brothers, whatever you want to call them, Bang Bros, got a lot of playing. Gonna be physical and intense next week when the Drew and Sheamus take on the Viking Raiders next week. So we'll see that next week with Valhalla. We'll get to see that next week and how that's gonna all play out. Speaking of that, Karrion Kross, looking forward to his Intercontinental opportunity with Scarlett by his side, talking about their destiny, him wanting to become champion. And Karrion Kross has that opportunity, but he has to go through three men in order to do so. Has to go through Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and Madcap Moss. So we got a preview of Karrion and Scarlett. Who knows what Karrion and Scarlett be thinking? They got evil mind, even thinks. I'm kind of glad Karrion is in WWE. He deserves to be in WWE to me. So Karrion getting this opportunity and the lovely Scarlett as well. So that package worked. I don't get why Vince McMahon wanted to put him in a war bonnet and not have her with him. don't make no sense. The act worked in NXT and the act works now in SmackDown. So you know how that go. Speaking of that, Lacey Evans was in action. Lacey Evans showcasing her skills using Sergeant Slaughter's hold the Cobra Clutch, and Lacey Evans gets herself the win over the Cobra Clutch. I guess they're building Lacey Evans to soon become like go against, I guess, Charlotte or something, or Real Ripley. Who knows? Somebody that's or Bianca Belair. You never know. Could see that. She'll be a tough component for Bianca. We know how to do it right, but we just have to wait and see. Lacey Evans gets the win using that Cobra Clutch. She's so good at. Speaking of that, Jimmy Uso backstage, doubting himself, thinking his brother Jay ain't gonna show up. Jimmy got a lot on his plate, and Jay as well, thinking that Jay ain't gonna show up. Only time will tell if Jay will show up for that tag team championship match. Well, I guess the SmackDown tag team titles was online, I guess, but not the Raw tag team titles. Well, it was next. Jimmy thought that Jay wasn't gonna show up. Jay showed up at the last minute. Jay came through. Jay came out and helped his brother Jimmy in a comparable match that many people were still talking about. The Braun Strowman and them. Jay came out and helped his brother Jimmy. Jay and Jimmy still are tag team champions. They embraced. They embrace on knowing that they hold the gold, both Raw and SmackDown, and are called they should call WWE tag team titles. The Spirit tag team champion. Oh, we'll see that. Speaking of that, Adam Pierce. We'll mention right quick. After the match, Jay goes back to try to do what he was doing alone again until he met up with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn told him like, "Hey, I know what's going on. You're the better one. You're the better person. But I had to take down Roman." And it was kind of like he's torn between the two, Jay. But Sam got to realize that Jay is going to be blood's going to be thicker than water. Going to show his true colors at Elimination Chamber. I'm telling you, turn on Jay, turn on Sammy, and be like it was a ruse to get Sammy to believe because Jay was a harsh critic of Sammy earlier in their relationship or something. And Jay started, warming up to Sammy and stuff. So um, they're tight now, but come next week, it's gonna be a different story. I'm telling you right now. Like I said, blood is thicker than water. Jay's gonna choose his blood brother that he been through with the hinches and stuff. So I can see that coming down. Also, too, Chelsea Green came out of nowhere. I don't know what show she needs to be. She's trying to be on. Chelsea Green trying to play a Karen like role and trying to get on Adam Pearce's nerves and trying to give her a list of demands. Chelsea Green gives herself a match, but she needs to be specific on what show she wants to be on. Like her and her husband, sometimes they so undecisive when it comes to that. They might well call them the undecisive couple of WWE, if you ask me. She got a match tonight. Also, to Ronda Rousey's return, she's helping Shayna Baszler. Ronda Rousey helped Shayna Baszler out of trying to help facilitate over Natalia and Shansi. So Ronda Rousey is back, and Ronda Rousey will be back. I guess they're vying for the women's tag team titles. So next week, Shansi and Natalia team up against Ronda and Shayna next week. So we'll get to see that. Speaking of that, Liv Morgan and what's her name? Raquel Rodriguez, they was in tag team action. He was one of the last three winners, last four women in the female Royal Rumble. They couldn't both. Liv was the runner up, but you tell when they're getting on the elimination chamber, it's every woman for herself who's gonna get the opportunity for a shot at Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania. So I tell you that right now. We'll see. Speaking of that, WrestleMania. Women's champion Charlotte Flair appeared. She sat down with Michael Cole and talked about how Rhea Ripley said that she's going to put Charlotte in her place at WrestleMania. And what Charlotte did to her 3 years ago at WrestleMania in the Performance Center when it was the pandemic, was the height of the pandemic. And Charlotte saying that she's looking forward to facing Rhea, but she's going to put Rhea in her place coming up this WrestleMania. This time with Charlotte and Rita met, Rita was the one that challenged Charlotte to meet her at WrestleMania with no fans. But this time at WrestleMania with fans, let's see how two of these women gonna go far for the SmackDown Women's title. Speaking of titles, coming up, Intercontinental Champion Gunther. Looking forward to see who he's gonna meet for his Intercontinental Championship. Gunther. Want to see which one of these four men will get a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. We didn't look no further to that. This was that, an Intercontinental Championship match, and with the Intercontinental title on the line, it was that. It was fast and furious between all of them. But I think Santos Escobar did more. Hurricanrana's Ray did a little more. Madcap doing providing him and carrying providing strength and statue. But at the end, Santos had the win until Madcap Moss take over. He took over big, had the distraction from his girlfriend Emma, and Emma helped Madcap Moss with new gear and everything else win the match. Madcap Moss gets himself a future Intercontinental Championship match next week against Gunther. Looking forward to seeing that next week. Gunther and Madcap Moss for the Intercontinental Championship. We get to see that next week on SmackDown. Now, speaking of that, Paul Heyman ended the show right here. Heyman asked Jimmy, where's this Jay stand? And saying that next week Roman Reigns want both of them to stay off TV. So he'll come on TV himself and address what's going on. I mean, who's Paul Heyman think he is? Just an agent or something? Well, yeah. Well, yeah. And then too, Paul Heyman got himself clocked up by Sammy. So there's a lot going on between Heyman and Sammy. So Paul Heyman advised the Usos to stay at home so Roman Reigns can address what's gonna go down at Elimination Chamber. So Roman Reigns will appear next week on SmackDown. So we look forward to seeing that next week. All right, that ends the SmackDown Ring Report. Let's move forward to Wrestling Hot Topic. Some Wrestling Hot Topic. After SmackDown, we know that Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar shared a heartfelt moment together, sharing each other's masses and giving each other the amount of respect that's earned and due. I think Santos gonna turn babyface and gonna have Selena Vega going nuts. She'll say, "Why you siding with Ray?" And I think Santos and his crew gonna just be baby faces going forward. So we'll see the friction between La Familia and Selena Vega involved. So look for that. Speaking of that, what is John Cena doing with this? I don't know. He has skirt or out here now. He going You can tell he's Hollywood. I don't know what's going on. John Cena. Guess it's for a new movie or something. We'll see. But Cena in a skirt and leggings. I don't know what's going on. Your guess is good as mine. Speaking of that, Triple H has gave up on Baron Corbin. Hopefully, that doesn't mean Baron Corbin ain't out of a job, but I mean, Triple H done everything he could do to help Baron Corbin. Um, person like Corbin, just put him on the announce booth or something, so he could do something. I'll be on NXT like everybody else is on NXT. So it's like a demotion, but it's sort of like you gotta figure out which your place in life. So hopefully Triple H ain't gave up on Baron Corbin and figure out something to do with Baron Corbin. All right, we're gonna end that with this. Paul Heyman. Well, Paul Heyman telling Jay to stay at home, and Paul Heyman getting confronted by Sami Zayn earlier in the show. A lot going on Heyman's head, and Heyman got a lot to think about, as well as Roman, for their upcoming championship match against Sami Zayn, who is trying to infiltrate and destroy Roman's bloodline the way he did at Royal Rumble. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long. Thank you for watching. See you later.